Hey YouTube, Cheer Twig here, bringing you guys my Speedroid deck profile for October 2015. It's a really fun deck. The main focus of the deck is to get out some really fast synchro summons to overpower your opponent. I'll show you my version of the deck. Planning to maybe release a couple deck profiles for you guys. This is the pure Speedroid version. I know there are also like Quasar versions and a bunch of other ones as well. And I'll bring those deck profiles for you later on, but I find this one to be one of the most fun just because it utilizes, the Speedroid archetype as a whole. So let's go ahead and get started. I run 3 Speedroid red-eyed dice. Your tuner of the deck, basically when this card is normal or special summon, you can target one Speedroid monster you control, except red-eyed dice, and declare a level between 1 and 6, and it becomes that level until the end of the turn. So he lets you set up your plays for the synchro summon, allowing you to adjust what level you want for the summon. The basic play is to go for the clear wing synchro. That's what the card was made with the intent to do. But you have a lot of other options as well. You can, if you have other monsters on the field, get some pretty high synchro summons out. But just having the option of going 1 to 6 really helps, set up the plays that you want. And I also run 3 Speedroid Terror Top. His effect is if you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand, and when this card is normal or special summon, you can add 1 Speedroid monster from your deck to your hand, except Terror Top. You can only use this effect once per turn. Probably one of the best cards of the deck, just because, special ability, and it allows you to search, making it very versatile in the deck. Great to adjust the level with red-eyed dice as well, just so, you can get the level you need, like I stated before. And the search ability helps because you can get, what Speedroid you need to add on to that situation. So if you need a tuner or something like that, Terror Top really helps. And I also run 3 Speedroid Tekken Tomborg. I like that all the Speedroids are based off of, different types of toys. I think it's really cool. If you control a wind monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, which all the Speedroids are winds. You contribute this card to special summon 1 Speedroid tuner from your deck, and also you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except wind monsters. You can only special summon Speedroid Tekken Tomborg once per turn. It's not that big of a restriction that you can only summon wind monsters with this card. Run a lot of wind in the extra deck, so you definitely have a lot of options there. Just another special summon ability that's great. Tribute effect. Speedroids have a lot of effects that can, go off in the graveyard with other cards. So just another versatile card that I definitely like running at 3. And the last of the 3, I run 3 Speedroid Double Yo-Yo. When this card is normal summon, you can target 1 level 3 or lower Speedroid in your graveyard, special summon it. Like I said, that whole graveyard play, and the fact that it is level 3 or lower, meaning you have more options to go with Double Yo-Yo. Like I said, just overall great card to use. Level 4 plays, can't go wrong there. So definitely one you want to make use of. And I also run 2 Speedroid Ohaji Kid. When this card is normal summon, you can target 1 tuner monster in either player's graveyard, special summon it to your side of the field, and if you do, immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon 1 wind synchro monster using that monster and this card only. More options. Like I said, I keep plenty of wind monsters in my extra deck to use, so never have to say, have this guy's effect, but I didn't really want to go into that. But yeah, I have plenty of uses for this card in the deck. And I also run 2 Tri-Eyed Dice. One of the graveyard effects, during your opponent's turn, you can banish this card from your graveyard and negate the next attack this turn from a monster your opponent controls. This is a quick effect. Just stops heavy hits. It's a level 3 tuner monster, so definitely used for the tuner aspect. The fact that you synchro with it, you can get into the grave very fast. With that, you don't have to await destruction or anything like that. So protecting yourself, because you can choose the attacks you want, really helps out. And I also run 1 Speedroid Menko. When an opponent's monster declares a direct attack while this card's in your hand, you can special summon this card in attack position. If you do, change all face-up monsters your opponent controls to defense mode. Just that 1 special tech along with the Tri-Eyed Dice to stop attacks. Switching them to defense mode if they have any, high-hitting monsters, get them to defense, and maybe it's a little easier for you to take them down that way. And the only non-Speedroid monster that I run in the deck is 1 Gen X Allied Birdman. Just, Great because when this card, you can return one face-up monster you control to the hand to special summon this card from your hand, and this card gains 5 attack if it was a win monster you return, and if this card is special summoned this way, remove it from play when it's removed from the field. The fact that it says wind, giving it that big attack boost does help. Most of the time I do use him for synchro plays, but that little boost can help with if I need to push as well. And that's it for monsters. We'll move on to spells. I run 3 Speed Recovery. This card is pretty much Call the Haunted for Speedroids, or Monster Born if you'd rather say. You target one Speedroid monster in your graveyard, special summon it. During your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Speedroid monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So special summon plays and card recovery plays as well. Very good card to use. Not too many restrictions, or any restrictions at all really, just the fact that you can't use the second effect the same turn you use the first one. But other than that, a must have in the deck. And I also run 2 Shock Surprise. The pattern of this deck is basically, there's no effects that really affect your opponent. You have to rely on your synchro plays for that. But with this card, you banish up to 2 Speedroid monsters in your graveyard, then target that many monsters on the field, destroy them. Like I said, just destruction ability that the deck does need. And 1 limiter removal, along with being wind. The Speedroids are also machine-type monsters, so you can make use of this card OTK pretty quickly with the 1 synchro, which I'll get onto later. 1 Foolish Burial, just, so you have uses in the graveyard. 1 for 1, so you can get your red-eyed dice faster if need be. 1 Mind Control. It's a synchro-based deck, so, use your opponent's resources. And I also run 3 MST. I run 3 in this deck basically because, like I said, this deck has no, true offensive plays besides the extra deck, except the 1 spell card against your opponent. So you need MST to clear that back row, because if you don't get your synchro plays off, the deck has, no other plays really to go for. And 1 Dark Hole and 1 Regeki. And I also use 1 Soul Charge, just so you can get your resources back for more synchro summons. And then for traps, I run 2 dice roll battles. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can target 1 Speedroid monster in your graveyard, banish it, and 1 Speedroid tuner monster in your hand. And if you do special summon 1 card from your extra deck, that's 1 synchro monster, whose level is the exact level as those 2 monsters. And you can also banish this card from your graveyard to have your synchro monster and your opponents do battle. I like it more for the first effect, emergency synchro play using cards in my graveyard and cards in my hand. Great thing to go off of. If I need to get a play off, I can definitely do it with dice roll battle. Like I said, though, I use it more for the first effect than the second effect, because not all decks do run synchros. And I also run 2 Call the Haunted. Once again, just get resources back to reuse them. 1 Torrential Tribute, and 1 Bottomless, and 1 Compulse Evacuation Device. Kind of lingered off on the end there. And that is it for the main deck. We'll move on to the extra. I run 2 High Speedroid Chanbara. This card is part of the OTK for the deck. This card can make a second attack during each battle phase. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles, it gains 200 attack. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one of your banished Speedroid cards, add it to your hand. You can only special summon Chanbara once per turn. It's great because you can get back all your banished, not all your banished, but banished Speedroids that you need. And the fact that he's a machine type that can attack twice, he is like the OTK with limiter removal. He has 2,000 attack. He can attack twice, so if you double it with limiter removal, that's 8,000 attack points right there. So it's a quick way to finish your opponent. If you can go with a quick finish off. Sorry, I cannot talk at this moment. With your monsters. I like that it's level 5 just because, you don't have to always go with the Armades play either. It's a generic synchro, and now you have other options besides Armades. And I also run 2 High Speedroid Kendama. The level 6 option for the deck allows you to banish 1 machine-type monster from your graveyard to inflict damage to your opponent. Or if this card is in the graveyard and you control a card, you can special summon this card, but you cannot normal or summon or set the turn you activate this effect. So he's just another option for materials. If you need another big synchro play, Kendama's in your graveyard, you can get him back pretty easily, or burn damage to your opponent. You have options with the card. And I also run 1 Clearwing Synchro Dragon, probably the main focus of the deck. at least by anime standards. Great effect, level 5 or higher monsters, it stops, so you can definitely rely on this card for a lot of situations. And very easy to get out with the deck as well. Plus 1 Old Entity Hastur, another win monster. So far, all the cards I've stated have been win, so you do have options between the levels of 4 and 7 for the deck. Hastur is one of these. Having the monster gain ability is also great. Makes your opponent really want to play around him. 1 Armades, 1 Goyle Guardian, 1 Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, 1 Black Rose Dragon, 1 Stardust Dragon, 1 Scrap Dragon, 1 Trishula, 1 Exciton, and 1 Castel. The Xyz are mostly, just for small plays. I do have some level 4s in the deck, but the deck is mostly for synchroing, but I do like having options for Xyz summons, especially with the mind control and, just other situations in which I might need an Exciton or a Castel. But yeah, that's it for the deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.